Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. Belinda here from Visualized NZ. This is my Cowgirls and Lace journal, which you may be familiar with by now, and I can sense that the end is in sight. So I thought I'm just going to continue on and see how much we can get done today. There is some final touches that I will need to do off camera, but let's see how much of this we can actually smash out today. Not too much left to do on the inside. So I do have this little mini page. It's like a little calendar, I don't know what to call it, planner note thing, I don't know. But the back of it is white, and in flicking back and forwards through this journal, it kind of just bothered me just a little bit. Not that I've got anything against white, but just like it felt plain, too plain for me. So I'm going to do a bit of stenciling on it first up. And I'm starting off with spun sugar in the distress ink, and just a little stencil I've made out of a bit of plastic off a folder. And I just hand cut some different sort of rough squares in different sizes into it. So it's very, very handmade. Just a bit of fun. So I'm going to do some in this spun sugar. And I might do it on an angle at the top just to vary it a little bit more. So I hope everyone's having a wonderful day today. Hope you've got wonderful things planned for the day. That's not going to be a stressy day. Right, I like that, but I also would like to add a little bit of vintage photo just to add a bit more dimension. So I'm going to offset it from where I did the spun sugar and put a bit of vintage photo over top. Now it may completely obliterate the spun sugar where it overlaps, and I'm fine with that. It's just going to be kind of like a subtle little detail. Whoops, that one's got very dark, never mind. Yeah, I like that, just subtle. Do the same thing at the top here, maybe go a little bit softer. So I won't dip my sponge back in the ink, so we can get a lighter ink. There we go. So it's not completely plain, it's got a little bit more interest, and it can still be written on. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side of it, which is over here. So there's the front side. It's got this lovely map, space for writing notes on the days. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. So basically you can do a whole month of just like little highlights or planning notes or something on it. And then it's got every day of the week, and it's got room for a title up the top. What else has it got on this side? I just continues the title and a few little elements around the side. So let's pop our page back underneath so we don't get ink where we don't want it. And I should just give this a wipe off so we don't muddy our pink. There we go, get some of that vintage photo off. Give it a bit of a dry on my leg. And we're good to go. In fact, this time, why don't I do it the other, no, I will do it the same way round because I don't want to dirty up my pink sponge. I've already managed to get blue on the pink side. So I'm using the other side. And maybe we'll try and get some darker pink on this side, just for fun. You know, not just so it's not exactly the same. That we're continuing to vary the look. There's a little bit of black coming off the stencil itself, which I'm not sure what that was, maybe pen or something. Maybe we'll do a little bit over here. and a little bit over here. There we go. Cool. Loving that. Okay, and again with vintage photo, so I'm not going to re-ink it. I'm just going to go with what's on the sponge. Might offset it just a little bit more this time. And where was it? There. So I'm getting some additional squares come in on this edge that weren't there, which just adds another little bit of detail, which is cool. Loving that. Right, and this one here. So I'm taking the direction of the overlap down this time, whereas with the top and the bottom it was in, this one's down. So I'm getting less of the squares showing. Hope that makes sense to you. Right. Perfect. Love that. Just a nice little detail. So again, I'm just going to wipe down my stencil. So next time I use it, it's not transferring that colour. Okay. So happy with that. Just gives that extra little bit of oomph, I feel. Right, so we were up to, I believe, was it the envelope pocket, or no, I think it was the circle pocket we were up to, somewhere here. Yep, here we go. So we had managed to do this little journal card here. We've got our little mini playing cards here that are just backed with writing paper, which is super cute and fun. So in the back pocket here, we've got this big back pocket. These circle pockets, I do have a video on these. I learnt this from Gail Agostinelli over on her channel, so you can also find how to do them on her channel. So a couple of options there for you if you'd like to know how to make them. And just search circle pockets either on my channel or her channel, or both. Why not? Do both. Depends what you prefer to watch. Right, need some backing paper. Here's a nice end page from, I believe it's from a diary. And it's nice and textured, nice creamy colour. So these two pieces I've chosen out here, these are from the Wild West digital kit. Can't remember the name of the maker, but it will be linked in the description box. So these aren't from the main kit that I'm using, but I thought they were a bit of fun. Just bring in a slightly different element. This one's a railroad pass, so pass on some railroad, and this is a Western Union telegraph, an old telegraph from 1888 or 1838. I think it's 1888, July 10th. So just a bit of fun. So let's back these. I think, can I get them both on this? No, I won't be able to get them both on this. So I'll do this bigger one on this, and then I'll find something else for the smaller one. And they're just going to both go in that pocket because there's room for both. Oops, get the glue going. It's so cold inside this morning. It's supposed to be a lovely day, and it is lovely outside, like the sun's shining, there's beautiful blue sky. But I'm at the end of the house where the sun hasn't reached yet. And so it's just got that real autumn cold start. And so I fully expect my nose is going to start dripping anytime, because it likes to do that in the cold. But so far, we're okay. Can I slide that up? This has got slightly curved edges, this piece. So I'll have to trim even if I don't get it right against the edge. Right, just double check that I can't fit this one on. No, it's not going to happen. Okay, let's find something else. Is this big enough? Yes, this is big enough. So this is just a bit of vintage exercise book. It's got a lovely creamy colour to it as well. The lines are going to go the opposite way to what the image does, but you don't look at both sides at once. So, you know, just turn it over right sideways and then pop it back in. It's not a problem. Well, I don't think it's a problem. Just a good opportunity to use up a scrap out of my scrap bag. Right, just try and get it straight since there are lines on the paper. Cool. See, these are so quick and easy. We'll possibly add something to them. I'm actually thinking maybe a floral. I haven't added much in the way of florals to this journal, but there's no reason why I can't add a floral here and there. Corners are already rounded as part of the digital. Just following it with my scissors. Come here, little scrap. In the bin with you. Pop that away. Right. Give it a quick ink up. Who else is going to be sad when this journal's finished? I don't know when I'll get it listed on Etsy though, since I'm out all day tomorrow and then I'm home for a day and then I'm out again all day the next day. So, and I've got lots to do. It depends when I actually get it finished, because I'm not saying that I'll actually have it finished today, because I know I've got a few things I need to do that I can't do on camera, because either they'll take too long or I need my sewing machine or things like that. One of those will be the closure, so you'll definitely see it all complete when I do a flip through though. Okay, there we go, we managed to use up that scrap. That's happy. So this one's got square corners and I'm just going to leave them square. This gives a bit of variety in the pocket. Did I ink the back? Yes, I did. Couldn't remember. Gee, I thought the sponge would last longer before I started getting crumbs off it, but apparently not. I'm getting crumb city. Right. Okay, so this one, I'm thinking like I would like to add something, potentially a bit of book page, so I'll grab that out in case. So book page there. And let's have a look at my flowers from Artsology, see if there's something that we might like. Too big. So I still want this to be a feminine journal. I don't want to cover everything up though on this, you know, beautiful detail. These all might be a bit big. That's pretty, but it's a bit big. I've got a little bit of one here that I trimmed out, but that's a bit small. Tell you what, I've got these also printed out at half the size. So this is the normal size that they print at. And I also printed a full set out at half size, but which I haven't pre-cut. So they are in my stash here. Just going to grab out this sheet that I've already used some from. And I'm thinking maybe this one. So let's have a wee look. Yes, I think that will be lovely. So let's just take a moment to fussy cut this out. These flowers all have a little border around them, so it makes it cutting quite quick and easy. On the large ones, I cut out the gaps in the middle very painstakingly with a craft knife. But this one doesn't, it has a couple of little bits, but nothing too dramatic. When they're smaller, it's not so noticeable, so you can get away with leaving them in. Right, just whip around this one. And I've also got another piece to go on the top of this one, something that we made in a previous video, Trashcraft Tuesday, I do believe, which I'd like to add to this journal, and I almost forgot about it. So I pulled it out this morning. It's this little bit of denim with the star brad in it. And I want to pop it somewhere where it can be removed for ease of writing, so it's not creating a big bump, because it's, you know, it's fairly thick, the brad. And I thought on this piece it might be quite nice. Almost there. There we go. Yes, I like that, and I do want a bit of book page behind it, so I'm going to pop these flowers away before I end up tipping them everywhere. And this is quite creamy, so I think I want a different, you know, make sure I grab a different sort of colour. That's a different colour. A little bit of music. Oops, I've got two there. Oh, look at that, Home on the Range. How appropriate. Can you get more appropriate than that? I want to use that. That was a happy little find, wasn't it? And it's got Cowboy Song over the side here, so let's how fun. It covers up more than what I was intending, but I just love the how perfect it goes with this journal. Like, it would only be more perfect if it was Cowgirl Song, wouldn't it? But I think that was a pretty lucky find, unexpected, fun. So I am just going to pop that across there. I lose this past bit, but I think Home on the Range is just too good not to put on there. So we'll sacrifice this pass. Word. Oh, I'm just tickled. I really am tickled at finding this. And I wasn't even trying to find it. I didn't know it was there. Ah, that just makes me happy. I've got a big smile on my face. Right. Bit of ink around this to make it, help it stand out. This one's not too bad to ink up. Some of them are a bit more difficult because of all the fine little details around the edge. This one's not bad at all. Here we go. So I'm going to cover up more than this that I wanted to as well, but I want to make sure that these bits are readable. Oop, getting a bit sticky there on the glue page. Do believe that's glue left over from yesterday. Oh, loving that. I think that's so cool. Yay, yay. Right, I'm going to get rid of this glue page while I remember that it's disgustingly sticky. Right, and this wee bit that I was going to attach up here somewhere. Oops. So I think I'm going to just use my alcohol glue to glue that on. Sorry for reaching under the camera there. Stick it to my glue. So I just want it sticking up a little bit. Maybe that way. I could just undo the brad and put the brad through the whole thing, but I like the idea of gluing it on, so I'm going to glue it. There we go, and it's like a little tab there. So once it's dry, I won't pull on it while it's still wet. Okay. Yeah, I was sneaky that time. I reached around behind the tripod to put the glue back. Right, excuse me, I'm just going to have a sip of my coffee, which is, as per usual, is almost cold. Right, so let that dry, and do we want to add anything to this one? So I'm just going to pop my book page to the side for a moment in my journal. So I can have a look at some of the smaller bits and pieces. I'm thinking actually one of my stamped numbers, a smaller one. I mean, there's plenty going on here, but, you know, we just like adding things, don't we, as journalists? Don't we just like adding bits and pieces and little details, and that helps make it our own. So I like that, and thinking about is this little compass here. So that must be north there. Yeah, I think so. Just cut round this. This is just a wee compass that I've, from one of my stamp sets, don't ask me which one, that I've stamped in, I believe, sepia ink from Ranger onto coffee dyed paper. And then this is just a bit of, I don't know, I think it might be cabbage dyed paper, this one. That didn't get a lot of colour, but turned it sort of more grey than anything. And which I've stamped a custom number on, so I've just made up a number, stamped whatever I felt like. And this stamp set, this number stamp set, is available on AliExpress, and I bought the set years and years ago, and it's still available. Right, so I think I want to put it down first, have it peeking up there. Make sure I put it north, not that it matters, but I want north to be at the top. So I'm just making sure I put it the right way around. Here we go, that's that. We number. Like that. And do I want anything else? I'm thinking maybe a whale tail, but the whale tail might be just a bit big for the piece. Oh, it's not too bad. This is one of the from the Huge Horse Lovers kit, and it's not as deep as the regular whale tails, so actually I quite like that, so let's pop that on there. And it matches the blue of this one, so it kind of matches. Just gonna flip around the edge with the ink. Don't forget the top. So both of the kits that I'm using, the Huge Horse Lovers kit and the Wild West kit, will be linked in the description box if you're interested. They'll be linked there for your ease of finding, and to honour the creators of them as well. Right, I was going to do it this way, wasn't I? Yes. And I'm putting it at the end here, even though this goes sideways, because this is the way it's going to be in the pocket. It's going to be vertically in the pocket. Right, okay, that other one should be dry enough now to pop away in our pocket. So this one, and this smaller one, pop in the front there. Oh, makes me happy, people, makes me very happy. Right, and that one, oh, that's right, this one was actually supposed to go on the side. I forgot what I was doing. Okay, well, it's now going in the top, and that's fine. Like, it works perfectly well on the top, but I still need something for behind here, and I'd chosen out that piece because it fitted really nicely. That's too long, so let's see what else we've got that might fit in the side here. It doesn't fit. It's too small. It's probably a bit small as well. And here I thought I was doing so well. That would be cool, but it's too big. I could take it down a little bit. Let's try it. If I take it into this line, let's see if we can fit it in there. And this is another railroad pass. So what do they call, oh no, I was thinking, what were they calling trains that had to do with horses, but I was thinking of cars, the horseless carriages. I don't know if there's something for trains or not that I can pull out of my brain anyway. There. So that actually will work quite nicely as well. So let's pack that, and that will be our little side pocket. Done. Right, I think this is what I was using yesterday for backing things for this journal, so got a bit left over. Oops, and some cat fur in the glue. How surprising, not. Had big long cuddles this morning with Georgie, our youngest. He's been very, very cuddly in the mornings lately, having big long cuddles with me, and I think it's just because it's turned cold, and he's really enjoying curling up in my arms, because before my husband goes to work I'm in my dressing gown, which we call cozy, because he loves it. He loves my cozy, and so whenever he sees me in my cozy, aka dressing gown, he just makes a beeline for me and settles himself down in my arms with big huge purrs, and it's just so sweet. And I've got to kiss him, kiss his little head over and over, because he's just too cute. And he looks for it too. He pushes his head up towards me, looking for his kisses. If you're not a cat person, you probably think that's utterly ridiculous. But hey, he's my baby. He's my child. We've got 4 children, all cats, and we love them to bits. Here we go. Do I want, while I'm cutting this out, do I want to add anything to the front of it? It's not as decorative as the other one, so perhaps I do. Let's give it an ink up first. Yes, can you tell I'm busy thinking about what I want to add? It went silent on the airwaves. It's alright, gives you a moment to collect your thoughts too. Right. Do I want another flower? Always use another flower. It's quite sweet, that one. Scissors. So back we go to fussy cutting. So I'm not doing all the ins and outs. I'm just using the border to make sort of straighter or curved, but not sort of like all the fine in and out details, which you can get away with when it's half the size. It's not obvious. If you did do all the little in and out details, like honestly, no one would notice. On the full-sized ones, then it would be more noticeable. But on these little ones, it actually does not matter. Oops, bit unclose there, never mind. I Something that a bit of ink won't fix. I'm really rushing this, not taking my time at all. Speed fussy cutting. Should make it a new Olympic sport. And coming down the back straight, she's going around the corner, around the leaf, cutting it a bit fine there. But oh no, it's all good. It could be quite funny, couldn't it? And no leaves were lost in the process. Okay, I like that. Yes, I do like that. So we'll put a flower on. Do I want anything else with the flower? Kind of flower by itself doesn't feel enough. It feels just like it's floating in midair. So I do feel it needs a little bit of grounding somehow. Maybe just a word. See what I've got. Stamped words that we haven't used yet. Life is good, but totally wrong colour. And a little big. I don't think we need something quite so big. Escape. Okay, yep, let's use that. It's a little play on the, it's a railroad pass and the idea of escape, like, you know, some Wild West outlaw hopping on the train, riding the train, although he wouldn't have a pass, would he, unless he stole it, or she. It always tends to be he's in most westerns. I grew up watching westerns. It was a family thing. My dad and my two brothers and I, on, I think it was usually a Saturday afternoon, we'd sit in front of the TV and watch westerns, and quite often John Wayne, although I'm sure there were other westerns as well that we watched, but they were my favourite. And my dad passed away when I was 12, so that time is very fond for me. I think about it fondly. I think about westerns fondly, because it's a period of my time that just was really lovely. You know, just hanging out as a family. I don't know what Mum was doing at the time. I don't recall her watching with us. She might have been doing housework or just having some nice quiet time by herself, doing something she wanted to. I don't remember. I must ask her, actually. Ask her what she used to do when we were watching westerns. Cool, I like that, but I am thinking a number as well. Just to, I don't know, balance it out somehow. Should have put it under. Oh, it's too late. It's very well and truly stuck. This is 1870. It's got. Yeah, no, I feel like they're too big, and I don't have anything smaller than that because they eclipse the escape. So maybe not a number. And there goes my nose starting to drip. So let's take care of that. Okay, well, we don't need the words out anymore. Maybe that's enough as is. Okay, I think I'm just going to leave it as is then. And then we're not covering too much of that cool detail anyway, so let's go with that. Right, and in the pocket, sticking out a little bit, there. Oops, that's a little bit. There we go. Cool, that's another page done, guys. And then here we have this one, and I do believe this is the last thing I have to decorate up and fill that hasn't been done. So this is the opposite end to the one we did, was it yesterday? Wherever it is. I've lost it. How can you lose it? All the time. This bit. Okay, so we've got this bit here that we decorated up and did a journal card for, I believe it was yesterday. So we've got this side, and I was thinking about adding some stenciling to this. I've got another handmade stencil here, which kind of I thought might be a bit fun. Let's grab back my catch page. And just with the vintage photo this time, so I might need a bit more ink, I think. This is a stencil I made. I hand cut all these and I made them for my Patreon mail. So I have been including a hand cut stencil in my Patreon mail since November. I'm not sure how long I'll keep it up though, because it's very, very hard on my hands. But I do love the results, and they're fun. They're super fun. So yeah, we'll see. And it depends how many I have to make as well for my Patreon mail. Yep, love that. So I think I'll do this side as well. Let's go under the flap. I feel like I'm inking my fingers here. I can feel the sponge rubbing against my fingers. And then I want to do the same positioning, if I can match it up, on top of the flap as well. So you get the effect when the flap's open or shut. So there we go. How fun's that? And then maybe we'll do a little bit over here. Rid of the crumbs. Okay, give my stencil a clean off. And I better check how long we've been going for too. I think we should be okay. Yeah, we are rocking along though. Hopefully we'll get this done, and then that's probably about as much time as we've got to do, which is, I think, perfect, because the rest I've got to do, I need to do off camera. So let's put this one on here, and then I'll grab out something else for the other one. So I'm going to put two pieces in this pocket. Gosh, time pressure. I'm feeling like I'm now beginning to rush, like go, 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 go. And actually, I don't need to. But my subconscious has interpreted it as you must hurry. I don't really want to hurry. I want to enjoy this process, and I am. I'm loving it. Right, so that's that one. Let's grab out something else. Here's another bit of grocery bag. So I'm just going to snip off this bit where it's a bit funky, where it was glued together. And this bit where it was glued together. And this one's quite heavily creased, but this one's just a light crease, so I think I'll pop it over this end. Should be all good. Oops, don't want to glue the front of it, do we? That would be a bit messy. And I haven't yet decided whether I want to sew round some of these, which is why I mentioned the sewing machine earlier. I may, but I'll have to go individually and decide what I want sewn or not sewn. And I don't use the sewing machine on camera, so that's definitely a process I'll take my time with off camera, and then you'll see in the flip through when it's all done as to what I sew or didn't sew. Making sure I get it down in that bit of a crease so it flattens it out as much as possible. Right, tip on the glue and let's get to trimming. See, ones like this I don't think I would sew because the detail goes right up to the edge of the card. A nice little script there. And this one. So yes, talking about Georgie with my cozy, with my dressing gown. It was getting quite dirty, you know, cuddling cats, especially when they come in wet. So yesterday it was a nice fine day and I washed my dressing gown. And so put it on fresh, clean, nice. It's very pale pink, so it shows the dirt really easily. And then Georgie came for cuddles, and what did he bring with him? He brought with him muddy paws. So my dressing gown is already dirty. But I'm not going to wash it today. Like, no. It's clean. It's just got a few muddy marks on it. It's all good. But it was like I couldn't even get away with one day of it being nice and clean and dirt free. It's pretty impossible when you've got cats, particularly when you know, it's damp outside, you know, heavy dew from the autumn coolness. And so he just brought his dirty old paws in, or dirty young paws, and smushed his dirt into my cozy, into my dressing gown. Well, it's my dressing gown, it's his cozy, really. Right. Don't know that I want to add anything to I mean, this is just beautiful. It's the same as the front journal page. So it's from, is that, or is it the back part? Got to check now. Ah, it's this part. It's the back page. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. So they will go in there. Like so. So you need to have it open because of the curve stops them going down so far. Right, and I do want to address this issue here. And I thought I had something out for it, but if I did, I put it away again. It's this old banknote, Northwestern Bank, $1. So I thought that might be quite cool up there. Inked it up. Sorry I was off camera, just trying to get rid of those crumbs. And I think a bit of book page, just to give it a bit of shape, interesting shape. Here's a index from a music book. How about we use that? Something a little bit different. Not sure how big a bit we need, but just tearing it down to the text very roughly. If we could put it something like that. And then we just get a little bit of that. I like that. We're just getting a little bit of hint of the detail, and then you open the flap and then you see more of it. Oops, my glue sticks in my way. So I like doing that, you know, that's sort of just a little peek of things can be quite fun and enticing. So, oh, what's that act? What is it? What does it say? What does it mean? Often it means nothing. It's just a bit of fun. Right, get rid of that bluey page. So we're coming into the home stretch, people. We are almost done. Whoops, I had that down lower, didn't I? Down about there. Okay. And oops, that's not straight at all. Oh, can we reposition it? I thought it was straight, but no, it's not. Yeah, that's better. Right. Do I want anything on here? I don't think it needs anything, although, and I'm probably running out of time. I've got maybe a minute or two. Some of my decorative faux washi. We've got something that might suit. Got some feather pattern here. It was from an image of a lady making a feather piece of artwork. So it's okay, so let's go with this. That's what I had in mind. Okay, I'm just going to stick that down and then trim off around the shape of the flap, which means my scissors are going to get terribly sticky and gross, and I'll have to clean them. But that's okay. So just need to clear a way to do this and open the flap out so I'm not sticking it to something I don't want to stick it to. Right about there. Oop. Just trimming it around the shape there. And I might want to cover this adhesive, the adhesive for the envelope closure, because it's a brand new envelope, and if that gets damp then it's going to seal itself shut, and that's probably not ideal. But I will do that off camera because we are out of time. Yep, it's time to call this a video. So I will cover that with something. Oops, that's lifting where I peeled it back up. So I'll just go on with a bit of tacky glue to get that. Come on, come on. Don't you know I'm out of time? There we go. That's not going to, and this corner's lifting as well. Yeah, it's not so great when you lift things up to reposition because the glue is kind of like, no, you had your chance. I'm not sticky anymore. I don't want to work anymore. You disturbed me. I don't like being disturbed. Right, so I'm going to do this corner as well because I can see that's lifting up a little bit. And that one seems okay. So, fingers crossed. Right. No, that's not wide enough. It's still going to leave some of that exposed. So I'll find something else to cover that with. And this side, I think I will quickly, do we want to pop something on there? I won't do it on camera. I'll just kind of give you a rough idea that I'm going to put something along those lines there. So you've still got some writing space, but you've got decoration as well. Something like that. Oh, we don't want that one. It talks about grave and tombstone. That could be Western as well. But something along those lines I'll put there. So you'll see that in the flip through. So I think we are basically done. I've got a few bits to do. I've got to finish the closure, put some charms on, bits and pieces, and make sure everything is where I want it. Phew! Wow, this has just been the best process. So you'll see this again soon when I do a flip through, and it will be all completed and ready to find a home. So thanks for joining me, everybody. I absolutely have enjoyed having you along while I've done this journal. And yeah, I'm not sure what project is next, but I know I'm going to love that too. But maybe not as much as this one. I'm hugging it to my heart. Okay, guys, I'll let you go now. Thanks so much, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.